What is business brokering?
Link brings the concept of buying and selling privately owned businesses to the Philippines. Link Business Brokers assist the owners and the buyers of privately owned companies in the buying and selling process. In some markets like the United States, they are referred to as business intermediaries.
How do they go about that?
First up, they give the business owner an estimate of the value of the business based on variables including financial information.
So confidentiality is important.
Oh, it's absolutely important. It's important internationally to Link. Confidentiality should be maintained throughout the whole sales process.
So the owner who's planning to sell accepts the estimate, then what happens?
Yes, the acceptance is now formalized with a written agreement that gives Link the authority to act for the seller. The owner now provides information to the business broker, including financial information. Then the business broker presents and advertises the business for sale using the Link website, the Link database of customers, and other advertising media.
If the business is promoted like that, how is confidentiality maintained?
Well, in our vast experience internationally, we have a way of presenting businesses generically without the reader or the potential buyer identifying the business. And we can do it in such a way to entice the reader or the potential buyer to inquire and pick up the phone. Then, of course, once qualified by us, they are required to commit to a non-disclosure agreement, meaning they could only disclose information received from us to their advisors like their banker, their lawyer, or accountant.
Then what happens?
After the initial qualifying interview, the business broker now passes on information to the buyer. The buyer looks at the information and makes an assessment. Then he decides to make an offer and to formalize the offer. Then the business broker prepares a business purchase agreement, which is a formal agreement, and there will be some negotiations involved, going backwards and forwards until both parties are happy with all terms and conditions, including the price. The business broker provides assistance during the due diligence investigation, which is the process of evaluating the profitability and commercial potential of the business for sale. It's also the process of verifying information gathered during the inquiry stage. The business broker also assists in the process to satisfy other conditions that needs to be removed before the agreement is closed. A typical example is for a franchise business is subject to the approval of a franchisor.
And how does that all work legally?
Link Business Brokers work closely with the advisors of both sellers and buyers, such as their accountants, their bankers, or their lawyers. The authority to act that I mentioned earlier enables the business broker to represent the business owner, who is the client, throughout the whole sales process. There are also circumstances where a buyer retains a business broker to source a business to buy. Through an authority to act, the business broker represents the buyer throughout the whole sales process and becomes a client. Link Business Brokers can represent both seller or buyer, but never at the same transaction.